Okay, hi, I'm Ben Murphy, friend of Javi Havels. I'm a short story and novelist living here in Albany. I'm going to read a short story from a short story collection called Long Distance Runners. And then I'm going to read a poem that's part of my novel. So here we go. All about him are 9-to-5ers, a midday lunch crowd rushing back to work. Oblivious, Big Black Mitch is into his thing. He covers only 3 yards back and forth, all the time arguing with unseen voices. He spots Myra approaching, and all the hysteria leaves his face, replaced by a big smile. He says, "You sleep late?" She says, "Uh-huh. Why don't you come inside? Sweetheart, they won't let anybody inside who might hurt you." No, he says, reminded of the alternate reality. "I'm good. Come on if you're coming on." Carl said that? Bullshit. Myra rests her hand on his arm for a moment's eye contact. She smiles up into his face and winks. Most people only come in the morning, attend a few groups, have a free lunch, and go home. Now the cafeteria is empty. There are only 2 afternoon meetings she can choose to attend. But first, the issue of coffee must be decided. Myra puts a cup under a large unplugged coffee urn. She presses the tap. A cold, muddy coffee pours out. She microwaves the cup for 2 minutes and searches the fridge for milk, none. And then the cabinets for cremora, nothing. She mutters, "I need this." She drinks it black, downs it quick like bad medicine. In the hall, she opens the first door. Kathy, a chubby, inept therapist, says, "Well, hello." "I'll be right back," Myra lies and shuts the door. Too much desperation in that greeting. She finds a second group going on down the hall. "You see the difference in these lists. We blind spot our strengths and highlight our faults," says the therapist. The therapist turns to Myra in the door. She asks, "Do you want to join us?" Myra says, "Yes, thank you." There's a small half circle of patients. Myra takes the free seat beside old B, which causes B to speak excitedly. Myra, I haven't seen you for so long." Myra pats B on the knee and raises her finger to her lips. Shush now." The therapist erases all the writing and prints RET. Under this in script, she writes rational emotive therapy. She sits down and looks into the faces of her group, moving left to right. First, Cheryl, who averts her eyes downward, not eager to speak. Cheryl wears what could be called the mental outpatient's uniform, plain cotton sweats and top, today in matching pink. She is often incorrectly judged as retarded. Next is Anthony, young and preppy-looking guy. He's new to the clinic scene. Then Myra. She is petite but strikingly pretty. Her most striking feature, almost waist-length, thick, dark hair. She sports tattoos around her wrists, vines and roses looking like bracelets. Finally, B, a worn woman in her 50s, who returns from private thought and is startled to find the therapist looking at her. B says, "I'm sorry, did you say something?" The therapist clears her throat and returns her attention back to the blackboard. Myra says to B, "Forget it." Anthony offers rational emotive therapy. That's some kind of relaxation therapy. The therapist says, "No, it isn't really, but it's a technique that works well with relaxation therapy." Another pause by the facilitator. Myra begins to dislike this woman. She's affected. Her conservative Margaret Thatcher brown skirt suit and short frosted haircut. She can't be past her late 30s. Why is she trying to appear older? The therapist asks, "Cheryl, what do you do to relax?" Cheryl says, "I don't." Therapist says, "You don't do anything to relax?" Cheryl answers flatly, "I don't relax." The delivery is so good and unexpected, she causes everyone to burst into laughter. The therapist chides, "Please, everybody does something to relax." B exclaims, "Are we going to talk about sex?" I'm sorry. "You're bad, Myra says, and everybody has another good laugh. Cheryl says, "I like to watch this old house." Anthony, the preppy guy, asks, "You mean the show where they're always fixing up a house, the carpentry show?" Cheryl nods. Anthony laughs and adds, "I like to watch Bob Ross, the one who paints a whole picture in a half-hour show. A little bush over here, and maybe a river that runs over here, and we'll put some clouds in our passing sky, and now a few trees and a cabin just over here. All the patients share mutual appreciation for this oddball painting show." The therapist interrupts. I don't know what's up with this group today. Please stay focused. Mara's laughter trails on while all the others fall silent. The therapist says, I'm sorry, B's laughter trails on while the others fall silent. The therapist says, B, would you like to take a few minutes out? Actually, you could break early. Group is almost over. You could sit in the cafeteria and have a cigarette. Relax. B suddenly looks like a nervous and childlike, a bad girl. Mara looks on, working her lip with her teeth. But B says, I'm sorry. I've never been asked to leave a group before. I'll be good. B releases a nervous laugh and with difficulty contains herself. B adds, I'm sorry, RET. I studied that in school. I don't smoke. I quit. I don't smoke. That's it. I used to know something by that. I went to school. I even had poems published. One started like this. I look in the mirror, think of myself and change. I look in the mirror, think of myself and change. Ha ha ha, B laughs. She looks at the therapist and closes a hand around her mouth. I'm sorry, she says. The therapist says, B, have you been taking your medication? I think so. I hope I have. I can't remember. I hope I'm not getting sick. Myra says, enough, B. B, look at me. B, you're not getting sick. They only give you a few supplies of meds at the group home. They only give you a few days. B says 2 days. Myra says, even if you miss, they're still in your system. It takes more than 2 days for Thorazine to leave your system. So even if you missed, it's still there. You'll feel fine when you take the next dose. Let's go for coffee at the cafe. Myra rises and pulls B up by her arm. The therapist says, I don't think drinking coffee is a good idea for her right now. Drink a cup of decaf. Drink a cup of decaf, Myra repeats back in her face and ends with a stone-cold smile, looking bigger and meaner than everyone in the room. Myra adds, so now you're looking out for her. Myra takes B's arm and walks her to the door. At the door, B says, wait, I forgot my purse, and hustles back over to her chair. Myra smiles and says, this old house. Now, my poem, and then I'm done. Schism with the ism. Talking about a clotting, a premature bursting of the psychic placenta. Men who only cry from one eye. Left, right, let's go fly a kite up to the highest height, leave it soaring. Talking about the sap in the gap, life in the middle of a tri-state synapse. Sammy will tell you, I can smoke a pistol, I can smoke a pipe. I can kiss the prettiest girl at 10 o'clock at night. My name is Sammy Jameson, blowing up the universe, saving the world. Crack, Thorazine, alcohol, a dented soda can with a bed of cigarette ash. My eyes haven't been clear for a month. Jimmy says blood is the rose of mysterious human. All I can do is schism with the ism. Ah, dreamless sleep when. Thank you.